Hello everyone, welcome. How are you? Welcome back to another Patty Stamps video. We are going to be making cards today. Are you excited? I am excited. I hope that you will maybe stamp along or maybe you will make cards later. That would be great. I thought it would be fun to jump on here and say hello and make some cards because tomorrow, Saturday, October 3rd, is World Card Making Day. Did you know that? And you know what the best part about, well, there's two best parts about World Card Making Day. Number one, making cards. Yay, so fun, right? But number two is sending them. So I hope that if you make cards this weekend, that you will make a point to send them. So I just wanted to say hello again. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Leticia, Janice, Margene, Denise, Pam, Karen, Bobby, Linda, Karen, oh, Debbie. Oh my goodness. Okay, if I say hello to everybody, it's going to take a long time. So I'm going to say again, hello, this is Patty Bennett. I blog at pattystamps.com and I wanted to welcome you back for another live video. So I know I have not been super regular about jumping on here for live videos, but guess what? I am committing, at least for the month of October, every Friday, so that's 5 weeks in a row, at this time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific time, I am going to make cards with you. So yay! At least you know you can find me for the month of October. We'll see how it goes, and then I will reevaluate for the rest of the year. But I am so happy that you have all joined me. Thank you so much. We are going to work on this fun card today. Plus, I have 3 other cards that I want to show you at the end. So stick around if you want to see 3 more ideas featuring this fold. So check out this cute little fold. This is like the easiest fun fold there is. It is a standard card with 1 extra score line. You seal this section shut, and it just makes sort of a fun little fold. Now, I searched all over, and I don't know what this is called, so here's what I'm calling it. The Easy Bookbinding Fun Fold Card. If you know of an actual name for this card, please tell me. Please put it in the chat, and I will check your answers. But it's kind of a bookbinding, and it's super easy, and it's a fun fold. So, Easy Bookbinding Fun Fold Card. How silly is that, right? So we are using the Basket of Blooms set. I don't know about you, but I have a stack of stamp sets or bundles, and they are the ones that I need to use. I just, I go back to the same fun sets over and over and over, and then I neglect certain sets. So this was in my you better use it pile. Basket of Blooms. And you know me, flower girl, I love flowers. So that is what we are going to use for this card. We are also using the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper set. And this is one of the 6x6 stacks. Look at all of the patterns. They are wonderful. So you may be thinking, well, yeah, but you know what? Stampin' Up! Has a designer series paper sale right now, and this is not on the sale. I know that. I will be talking about the sale towards the end because I have 3 more cards. I used Heartwarming Hugs, Magic in This Night, and 'Tis the Season to make 3 more ideas for you. So we will be talking about the sale and those extra cards at the end of the video today. Yeah, I know, this one's not on sale. I also just wanted to show you the set in the catalog. It's in the annual catalog. Page 48, Basket and Blooms. They have a really adorable idea here of a simple card, a stepped up card, and then a really wow card. So that might be something you'd want to copy at some point if you want to. Just wanted to show you that. So let's get on to how you make this card. I've got the measurements and the pieces here for you. Our base card. And by the way, I should have said all of this will be on my blog Sunday, no, October 4th. So 2 more days, all of this will be on my blog, or you're welcome to take a screenshot as well. I should have checked comments. Did anybody have an official name for this card? It doesn't. Okay, everybody's saying like that sounds good. Okay, we're going to go with that. So again, we're calling it the Easy Bookbinding Fun Fold card. So, okay, back to the information. So our standard size base card, 5.5 by 8.5. And then it has 2 score marks, 4 1/4, which is in the middle, and then also 5.5. So we have 2 score marks. I know those are not easy to see, but as soon as I fold it, you will see that. I am actually using 3 patterns of the designer paper. You can just use 2 if you want. You'll see how I used this extra one, but you would want at least 2 patterns. And then if you're using a dark cardstock, like this isn't exactly dark, it's just jade, but I think it's dark enough that on the inside I wanted a white piece. So this piece will be going on the inside. And then I just had this little scrap that I did that with. So let's show you how all of these pieces work together, and then we'll decorate the front. I'll leave that right there in case you want to see it. So you just start with that 4 1/4 fold and your bone folder, and it's just, your typical folded in half card. But then that extra fold that was at 5.5, that folds backwards. So you can see how it's going to do this. I elected to use my Stampin' Seal Plus on this little strip because this is something that's going to have maybe just like a little extra wear and tear on it, a little more pressure than obviously just a card that, opens normal. So I used that. You could use whatever adhesive you prefer. Tear and tape would also work well. So up to you. And then if you want to just switch back to your regular adhesive, I'm doing adhesive on those 2 sections for 2 of my pieces of designer paper. So this is the one. This one is the larger, 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. That's this one. And then the smaller one, 1 by 5 1/4, goes over here. Super simple, super cute. You could like put a greeting on that and maybe a little bow and call it good. But we're going to do some embellishing. We are going to make this cute little piece. Oh, hi, everybody. Greetings on the live. I am so glad you're joining me. The comments are flying by, so I apologize that I'm not seeing them all. By the way, if you see the red live button up here, you're catching me live. And hopefully, if you have questions or if you want to comment, I should be able to see it. I'm going to really try to remember to look over here at my comments. And if you don't see that button, it means that you're watching later. You might be watching on my blog. You might be watching on YouTube. Wherever you're watching, totally great. Welcome. So happy that you are here. And if you are looking for more information on these cards, these will be on my blog Sunday, October 4th at pattystamps.com. Okay. So now let's work on this cute part that goes on the front. I have used this really adorable scalloped rectangle from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. I love this die, so much so that I have 50 of them ready to go at all times because I use these a lot. From the Basket of Blooms set, I have the pot. We're going to use the pot. And I have 2 of the little stems, the leafy stems. So these two and the pot, and then I also used the flowers. So even though I've got these pre-stamped, I want to do this just so you can see how super easy this is. I used cinnamon cider, which is a Stampin' Up! In color, for the pot. And I wanted it fairly close to the bottom because I wanted room for my flowers and my stems. And we are going to color it in with Stampin' Blends. And if you noticed, doesn't it almost look like the no line watercoloring? Because if you stamp with the same color that you color with the blends, it kind of almost dissolves the ink just a little bit, and it looks like no line watercoloring. Doesn't it really look like a real pot? I think it's super duper cool. So then we have Just Jade, and I'm going to use a little Post-it note to just mask the pot. And at first I thought I was going to have to cut it, but really you don't. I just left it straight and it's fine. So I'm going to stamp one of the stems over this direction. And then this longer one, I did one coming up sort of right in the middle, and then one a little bit over to the right, like that. And then we can color. So I can take that off, don't need that. So I just want to make sure I have the light cinnamon cider. Oh, glad I checked because that was not the right color. And dark cinnamon cider. Now, when you're coloring with blends, you normally would want to kind of saturate the whole thing with the light, go in and do some of the dark, and then go back and blend with the light. However, since I'm coloring on cinnamon cider, I don't want this to just completely obliterate and all the color to just be gone. So I am going to start with dark, and I'm basically adding where they put the shadowing, but I'm adding a little more. So that's all I'm doing for the dark. That was the fine tip. And then with the broad tip of, and I don't really need to be coloring on this. I just needed to stamp on that. We'll just set that over there. I just didn't want the color to bleed onto that mat. And by the way, that is the Stampin' Pierce mat. And that mat is great for when you are stamping with the photopolymer sets, because they don't have that extra layer that a red rubber stamp does. So it is great to have that extra foam when you are stamping with photopolymer stamps. So there is our pot, and you can see how that just really looks great. Doesn't that look like it's the kind of the no line watercoloring? I love it. And then I'm going to use Just Jade with the Just Jade. Sorry, just glancing over for comments. I didn't know if there were any questions about the coloring. And I'm kind of being a little bit sketchy. I don't want to super duper saturate this because it's, like I said, when you use a regular dye-based ink and a Stampin' Blend, you are really almost dissolving that color. Normally, you are going to stamp in black with the Memento ink, and then you're going to color with the Stampin' Blends. But I didn't want black outlines. I wanted the color. So that's why I did this. And I'm just adding little kind of sketchy dots of the dark jade. So we've used the cinnamon cider and the Just Jade. And then I pre-stamped on strips, scrap strips, I put both flowers on the same block, and I just stamped. So I stamped 3 different colors, and I made sure when I stamped that I was stamping so that when I slide this punch Sorry, I just have to look straight down there. When I slide the punch in, that it's in the right orientation. Because if you stamp it crooked or you stamp it upside down, it's hard to punch. And this little punch, I am pretty sure this was from Celebration last year, so you may have earned this free. If you didn't, it is in the current catalog for sale. And then I don't know if you do this, you've probably seen me put this tip on my blog, but when I have a bunch of small loose punched pieces, I take my roll of glue dots and I just start putting them on so that they don't get lost. Because I don't know about you, but I tell you, when I'm working, all of a sudden, half of my little punched out pieces are just like gone. It's like, what happened? Where'd they go? I don't know where they went. So before we put some of these flowers on that I put on dimensionals, we are going to stamp the cute little bow on the pot. And this comes in the set. I am using Misty Moonlight. I just didn't want to use black. I probably could have used gray, but I thought that this would be great, and I love it. It turned out perfect. Even though there isn't Misty Moonlight elsewhere in this card, it still turned out great, and I'm really liking how that turned out. So we are going to add one of each color of the little flowers that are popped up, plus I'm going to use a couple of these from the glue dots. And the colors are Mango Melody, Calypso Coral, and Melon Mambo. And I thought at first that because of this paper, I really thought that Magenta Madness was going to be the right color, but it did not look right with the other two colors. I tried and I just didn't care for it. It's an option. If you like it better, by all means, you can use that. But again, I opted for the Mambo with the coral and the mango. That was just my choice. So we're going to take the backings off, and I like to use, I have an old pokey tool that I don't mind getting kind of gunky. That's what I like to use for getting my dimensional backings off. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put the yellow one kind of up here, and the orange, or sorry, the Calypso over here. Then I'm going to take two of these that are just on glue dots and just give it a little extra. You know what, this one needs to go up just a little bit. Let me see if I can loosen that. I don't like it this low. We're going to put a new dimensional on there. Well, actually, I have another one in here. Let's just use that one, and I will fix that one later. You can rub those off if you don't like where they were. So I will do that in a bit. So there are my cute little flowers. Then what I decided to do was to layer it onto a third design. Now, I don't know, maybe this is too busy for you. Maybe you're thinking, holy moly, 3 different patterns. That's too much. And if you don't like that, you could totally do just a solid color here, or you could just put this piece right on there. I just thought that it was kind of cute with one little extra touch. And I did stamp Birthday Wishes. So just right down here with the cinnamon cider. When I stamp, when I create, when I'm making cards, I like to try, and it doesn't always work, but I like to try my best to repeat a color twice if I can, or more, but at least twice. So I've got the cider twice, and then I've got the yellow repeated in this piece. I've got the jade repeated here, and I've got the other 2 colors repeated in this piece. To me, it makes it's more pleasing to my eye, if that makes sense. And then, hang on, my, okay, where they're stuck to something. I have, oh, here they are. Oh, goodness. So I have the in color dots. What I did to match the Calypso Coral was I actually did Cajun Craze, because coloring on top of a color, you need it like just a step darker. So I could have used the coral on here, but using Cajun Craze on the yellow turned it to a coral. So I have a coral one for that. And then I have my dark melon mambo that I colored on top of the Magenta Madness. So we are going to match our colors here. Oops, I did not grab that one. If you don't kind of dig under far enough, sometimes you just lift off the clear part. So that was my fault. And then I'm going to match the yellow to the yellow. And even though these are Bumblebee, they look perfectly great with the Mango Melody. So I did that to kind of decorate. Then my last step, and I want to ask you which one you like best. I used the Bumblebee ribbon on this one and the Jade ribbon on this one. And honestly, I can't decide. I tried white. That didn't look quite right. And I don't know which one I like. When I only see this one, I love it. I love the yellow picked up in here. When I only look at this one, I love this one. So I don't know. What do you think? What would be your preference? Or tell me what other color you would like me to put on here, and we'll try it. Oh my goodness, it says that my husband just logged on. Hello, husband. Okay, so Jade. Okay, 2 of you are voting for the Just Jade. Hi, Lori from Ohio. We are just finishing up this card, and I have 3 more cards to show you, so please stay tuned. Oh, okay, everybody is saying the Jade. All right. Any other color you would like to see me try on this one? I have the colors over here. I was wondering about the gingham. I think that would be super cute. I was also wondering about the Jade gingham. Oh, that's kind of, I'm not liking that. That feels too busy to me. I'll show you the Magenta Madness. It's too much for me. I am not a Magenta Madness person. It's cute. I think if I had Magenta Madness flowers over here, this would be adorable. So let me see. Okay, yeah, pink. So Susan, I tried that. My husband says, hello, wife. Okay, Bumblebee, both, Jade, pink, Jade, pink, Bumblebee. Oh, cinnamon. Yeah. Didn't even think of that. That would not be my favorite. It's a great try, but that would not be my favorite. A softer pink. Oh, Misty Moonlight. I just saw that. Okay. I don't have anything else that's a softer pink. We don't really have a soft pink. Let's see the Misty Moonlight. Wow, that just brings out a whole different look, doesn't it? Yeah, like to match the blue bow. Exactly. My husband says yellow and green for Athletics Mojo. The Oakland Athletics are in the playoffs, so he's cheering. Oh, you're funny, husband. I love that. Okay, Margene says all of them look good. Well, you know what? I am just going to be a little crazy. I'm just going to try this. Let's hang on. We have too many spools out here. I'm going to be a little crazy and try the Bumblebee Gingham because I just think it is completely adorable ribbon. And we can always take it off and use it on a different card if we don't like it, right? So let us see. Well, I actually think that's pretty darn cute. Now what I do on these cards, because I've made several of this style, is I take a couple of glue dots and I put them under here just so that it won't slip off. So what do you think? I actually think that is adorable. Oh, thank you. Patricia says she loves it. Okay, husband is saying red and gold for the 49ers. You're so funny. I actually think this is super duper adorable. I like that. So there we go. There is a set of 3. You could take your pick. You could put different colors of DSP, the papers. You could do different colors of ribbon, different colors of flowers. Oh, we forgot the last step. Hang on. I'll show you the very last thing that I did. I took my Wink of Stella, and when you run that over the classic dye ink, it spreads the color just a little teeny bit. Not a lot, but enough so that it fills in just a little bit of color. I probably should have somehow showed you the before and after, but do you see how it just spreads that color just enough, just to fill that in a tiny bit? So, so, so cute. All right, so do you love that? Oh, thank you, Diane. She says she loves the... Oh, okay, yes, I'll get to that. Diane says she loves the yellow. Thank you so much. So, Cheryl was asking about the notching technique. Let me show that because Cheryl is on my team and we did this card yesterday in a team event. Let me show you what she's asking about. So when you have this type of card and you have your fold, I'm going to go ahead and just use my Seal Plus and get this to seal shut. And then we're going to pretend that, we have our, actually, I have another set. So let me go ahead and let me put this on there because then I can keep going and I can finish this later. So when you have your designer paper on here and you are ready to do the ribbon, Leticia reminded me of a technique that she says she learned from me, and that's great. I don't remember teaching it, but she had a technique that she reminded us of, and let me find what would be, this might actually be a good punch for it. What we're going to do is make a little notch here so that our ribbon kind of sits in there. Let me see if this punch, so do you see what I'm just going to put just a tiny, just a little, a notch. And you could look in your punches and seriously, you can use almost anything, like a tiny little piece of a circle punch would work. So do you see these notches? So let's do, I have another yellow. We can use this daffodil on this one. So when you put your ribbon on inside those notches, then it's not going to slip off because those little notched pieces will hold your ribbon in place. See that? Maybe from the back it's easy to see. See the notches? And it'll just hold your ribbon without your ribbon sliding off. You could use really so many different punches. You just look in your punch drawer or where, wherever you keep your punches. This I think is called Tailored Tag, if I remember right. I was just looking here, and even like, oh no, because that, if the point of the heart was over here and you could get your cardstock in there, even just, I hope, did I lose anybody? Let me know if you can still see me. My iPad is giving me an error. Can you just let me know if you can still see me? I don't want to. I see a heart. Okay, it froze for a bit. Okay, you're back. Okay, sorry. I am not sure what happened. Oh, okay. Oh, that's weird. It's okay. I'm sorry. It just always throws me when all of a sudden I can't see myself. So sorry. Back to the paper sale. So the next 3 cards I'm going to show you feature paper that is on sale. Unfortunately, I had this idea already figured out before I knew what the sale was, and this paper was not on sale. So we're going to look at Magic in This Night, Heartwarming Hugs, and 'Tis the Season. So this is for the month of October 2020. If you're watching this after that, then the sale is no longer available, but the paper would still be available if it's currently in the catalog. So let me show you with the Hallows Night Magic set, the Magic in This Night designer paper, and the matching Halloween Magic dies. I came up with this card using the same fold. So from the top, you can see that little fun bookbinding edge. I guess that's what we're calling it. I used the 2 dies here. I used, 3 patterns of the designer paper. Actually 4, because these bats are die cut right out of the designer paper with this die. So this, if you see the whole piece and you line it up, it cuts out the bats. So at first, when I saw somebody use these, I don't know, weeks ago, I was like, wow, they did an excellent job embossing in white. But no, it's not embossed in white. It's just die cut right out of the paper. And I don't know if you saw, a few minutes before I went live, I had a sneak peek. I don't know if this is going to show great, but I used this stamp on the blue designer series paper, this one, in this Magic in This Night, and I stamped this on this, and I die cut it out with the die, but then I used my Frost White shimmer paint that I have in a spritzer with rubbing alcohol. I shook it up really well and I spritzed it. Now, I don't know, can you see that it's stamped in black, and then can you see the shimmery part of it? I hope you can see this. It's always hard for me to know how well it's turning out on the camera, but I think it's really cool. It's a cool look. And then the larger one, I just die cut out of the basic gray cardstock. I sponged the edge, and I also spritzed that with my Frost White. The final step was the glimmery black ribbon and some of the blue gems. If you haven't seen those are gorgeous. So I used these darker ones on that. And let's see. Oh, I think last step was I just used a couple of stamps from the Ghoulish Goodies set on the inside. I don't know if you can see, but I did stamp Happy Halloween down there. And it kind of, the ink as it sunk in, it doesn't almost show anymore, but that's okay. Somebody is going to see that when they receive it and be like, oh, it says Happy Halloween. That's so cool. So again, this is Magic in This Night paper. That is the ordering number. It is on sale during the month of October 2020. I almost feel like I'm on QVC or something. So that was that card. And the Magic in This Night paper. The next one we are going to look at is the Heartwarming Hugs designer paper. That's this one. And that's the ordering code. You can go to pattystamps.com and click shop now. Here is the card that I used, or excuse me, the card I made. And I used the press on stamp set. So you can see that cute little coffee, like a Starbucks cup. And then I love this. I love that font. And I think it's such a cute little greeting, a cup of thanks. And I used 4 designer papers on here. So the 2 main ones that we talked about, I used one for the little heart die cut and one for the scalloped circle. So 4 different colors and the sheer red ribbon. And then on the inside, just a little scrap. So that is Heartwarming Hugs, same fold idea. Do you love this fold? I do. I really, really love this fold. I think this is so cute. Our last extra sample is 'Tis the Season paper. So 'Tis the Season, there is the ordering number for that. And I took out my Merry Moose set and my Moose punch. And I decided to create with the moose. Last year, when this was in our holiday catalog, this moose sold out so fast that I didn't even get to use it, because by the time I got around to wanting to use it, it was sold out. So I thought, well, we need to use it this year. So I have selected 2 of the papers from 'Tis the Season. This tag, I'm pretty sure this is in, oh my gosh, it was on the tip of my tongue. Hang on. North Pole, I think. Yes, that's what it's in. It's a really great tag, this shape. I love this tag. I love that little detail on the bottom. Now, if you didn't have the moose set or the moose punch, there are 2 deer in this that you could use instead. So if you had this, you could substitute instead of the Merry Moose. You could use that moose. But I just stamped him and punched him out and used the trees in the background, and then added a couple trees and the greeting on the inside. And I did not do ribbon on this one because I did a little bit of 2 different ribbons up here, and I kind of frayed this to give it sort of that, you know, natural kind of nature look. And this is cherry cobbler, by the way. So just a simple cherry cobbler, shaded spruce, and then a couple of different browns there. Just kind of simple, nothing fancy on this one. I don't know. What do you think? I just did not want to add another ribbon on that one. But it could. You definitely could. Thank you. So who is this? Patty says that we could use a lot of DSP on one card. Yeah, I know. You really can, right? You can use lots of different patterns out of... Oh, this is not the right paper. Why did somebody say that and I totally missed it? Sorry, I had it right here. Let's start that part over. 'Tis the Season. Oh my goodness. Did somebody tell me that and I missed it? Oh yes, somebody did. I'm sorry. Totally missed it. Yeah. Oh dear. Well, you know, that's what happens when you have lots of products out. But here's the 'Tis the Season. So you can see that I used this one and the trees. I think this plaid would be really awesome on this as well. And this one is a 6x6 pack, by the way. So just FYI, 6x6 on this one. Sorry about that mistake. That was not very professional. I apologize. All right, so let's look at the different designs of this, what were we calling it? Easy Bookbinding Fun Fold, I think we were calling it. So we did the Flowers for Every Season. We have the Heartwarming Hugs. We have 'Tis the Season. And then we have the Halloween version with the Magic in This Night paper. So those are 4 ideas. Maybe this is easier. 4 ideas for you using this fun fold. Same idea, but you can see what a variety you can get. Thank you, Kelly. I'm sorry that I missed your comment earlier. Oh, thank you. Margene says they're all great. So I don't know. Love this fold. Super easy. All of these dimensions for this fold will be on my blog, pattystamps.com, on Sunday, October 4th, and it will feature this card. And then the next day, I will have on Monday, October 5th, I'll put these 3 on there as your alternate ideas. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining me. If you need catalogs, if you need help with placing an order or making your project, you can use the Contact Me button at pattystamps.com. And have a great day tomorrow on World Card Making Day. And I would challenge you not only to make some cards, but please send them. At this time in our crazy COVID shelter-in-place stuff that's going on, there are so many people who would really love a card in the mail. So think about a few people to send some cards to. And I will see you back here next week for another live. On Friday, October 9th, we'll be making more cards. But of course, check my blog every day for ideas. And you can check here on my Facebook business page for updates, ideas, tips, samples, and all that good stuff. So you are welcome, everybody. So fun to see you all on here. I really appreciate you joining me. It's so fun to see your comments. And I just love spending time with you. Thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.